Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's Tuesday afternoon baseball. The St. Mary's Spires have strolled just a few miles over here to KCK for a one game at 9 innings. So welcome to the broadcast. I'll be back with you in a little bit. We'll check our volumes. We'll be back with the starting lineups. I'll be back. Welcome back. The Blue Devils will be headed down to Millington, Tennessee for a couple of games on Friday. Looking forward to bringing you those games as well. So stay tuned for this one and the ones this Friday. All right, welcome back, everyone. Let's have the starting lineups for today's game. The St. Mary's Spires Junior Varsity will visit. Their starting lineup is as follows. Leading off the center fielder, Ben Cordova. Batting second, the catcher, Adam Celestino. Batting third, the first baseman, Ben Brandt. Batting cleanup, the third baseman, Aiden Hardig. The designated hitter is Emilio Ramirez. He'll bat fifth. Batting sixth is the left fielder, Justin Nunez. Batting seventh in right field, Wyatt Lowry. Batting eighth, the second baseman, Lucas Barta. And batting ninth, the shortstop, Ian Maldonado, with Brett Hayes on the mound. So it'll be Cordova, Celestino, Brandt, Hardig, Ramirez, Nunez, Lowry, Barta, Maldonado, with Hayes on the mound. That's the starting lineup for the St. Mary Spires. Now the starting lineup for your Kansas City, Kansas Community College Blue Devils. Leading off, the shortstop, Gary Goldbeck. Batting second, the second baseman, Peyton Basler. Batting third at first base, Jace Woida. Batting fourth at cleanup, the third baseman, Jackson Mervosh. Batting fifth is the designated hitter, Bryson Vaughter today. Batting sixth in right field, Freddie Nolan the fourth. Batting seventh in left field, Levi Martin. Batting eighth, the catcher, Derek Olson. And batting ninth, the center fielder, Brady Kern. With the pitcher being Gavin Killian on the mound. So it'll be Goldbeck, Basler, Woida, Mervosh, Vaughter, Nolan the fourth, Martin, Olson, Kern, with Killian on the mound. We'll be back with the start of this one here in about 10 minutes. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. All right, welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. The Blue Devils will be hosting the Spires from St. Mary in Leavenworth. They bring their JV over for one 9-inning game this afternoon. Martin Kern Nolan the fourth, left to right across the outfield. Mervosh Goldbeck, Basler Woida, left to right across the infield with Olson behind the plate and Gavin Killian on the mound. Killian is from Hughesville, Missouri. He is only 2 innings pitched thus far. Still has a 0-0 win-loss record as well as a 0.0 ERA. So nothing much has happened with his 2 innings, but today gets the starting nod against the St. Mary Spires. Welcome to the broadcast. Thanks for joining me. And here we go with some baseball. Blue Devils St. Mary Spires schedule up Cordova, Celestino, and Brant. Cordova is without an at-bat so far. There's a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 the count. Cordova is the center fielder for the Spires. So ball headed into right field. So Cordova leads this thing off with a base hit to right field. That's going to bring up Celestino. Celestino will step in with nobody out and a runner at first base. See if the bunt is on here. There's a ball headed right back up the middle. So back-to-back base hits by Cordova and Celestino for the Spires. That's going to bring up Brant. Ben Brant will step in with nobody out. Runners at first and second. Sunshiny day, a little bit of breeze out of the north to northwest. There's a swing and a miss. 0-1 the count on the first baseman, Ben Brant. Another swing and a miss, so quickly 0-2 on the first baseman, Brant. To the count. Killian on the mound, fouls that one away, does Brant, so he earned himself another pitch. 0-2 the count. First 2 hitters, Cordova and Celestino, with base hits. They are at first and second. That's a little bit low. 1-2 the count. Cordova way outside. Celestino at first. Two and two the count now. In the dirt, blocked nicely by the catcher, Olson. So from 0-2, then a couple of foul balls at 0-2, and now 3-2 is the count. There's a swing and a miss for the strikeout. So the first out of the inning, that's going to bring up Hartig. Hartig is the third baseman. He will step in with runners at first and second now with one out. It's down low for ball one, 1-0 the count. Third baseman Aiden Hardig at the plate. Tying inside for ball two. 2-0 the count now. There's a strike at the belt inside corner. 2-1 the count. Top of the first inning action here. Sunshiny day, nice and warm today. There's a ground ball headed at goalback. He's going to go up with it and over to first. He had a thought to go to third and then thought better and went over to first for the 6-3 ground out. It's going to bring up Emilio Ramirez. He'll step in now with 2 outs and 2 on. Runners at second and third. That's a little bit low. 1-0 the count. Couple of base hits, then a strikeout and a ground out. That leaves us with 2 on and 2 out. That's down low. So 2-0 the count. Ramirez, the designated hitter. There's a swing and a miss of that breaking ball. So 2-1 the count on him. Breaking ball that was coming in on his hands. He turned and fouled it into the first base dugout where the Spires are located. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on, 2 hits so far for the Spires. Just misses a little bit outside. 3-2 the count now. Foul ball back to the screen. We'll do the 3-2 again. Just misses a little bit outside. Pretty good looking pitch there, but ruled a ball, so a base on balls. That's going to load things up for Nunez. Left fielder Justin Nunez will step in. He'll be up there with 2 outs and the bases loaded. It's outside for ball 1, 1-0 the count. Swing and a miss of that pitch, so 1-1 the count now. On the left fielder, Justin Nunez. And there's an RBI hit by a pitch. So Nunez takes one on the hip for the team. So base is still loaded. That's going to bring up Wyatt Lowry. That ball's inside. Lowry is the right fielder. 1-0 the count on Lowry. There's a strike, catches the inside corner at the waist. 1-1 the count. Bases loaded. 2 outs, 1 run in on the bases loaded, hit by a pitch. There's a strike, catches the outside corner. You find that spot right there, and pitchers will be using that spot a bunch. 1-2 the count. There's a swing and a miss. So the Spires get 1 run on 2 hits. We go to the bottom half of the first inning. Spires have 1. Your Blue Devils coming up. I'll be back. All right, to the bottom half of the first inning we go. Brett Hayes on the mound for the Spires. He's from Kansas City, Missouri. Defense behind him will be Nunez, Cordova, Lowry across the outfield, left to right. Harding, Maldonado, Barta, and Brandt left to right across the infield with Celestino behind the plate and Hayes on the mound. So Gary Goldbeck will lead things off for the Blue Devils. He starts today batting .393. He'll step in as he leads things off with the Blue Devils trailing by 1. That's up high for ball 1, 1-0 the count. Goldbeck, Basler, Woida. The first 3 scheduled up for the Blue Devils. Way outside for ball 2. 2-0 the count now. There's a strike outside half the plate at the waist. 2-1 the count. There's a ball headed to the gap in right center. Long run for Cordova. He won't get to it. And cruising into second base with a leadoff double is Gary Goldbeck. So that's going to bring up Peyton Basler. He will step in with Goldbeck at second base. Basler starts the day batting .296. He'll step in with nobody out and Goldbeck at second base. Squares to bunt. That's a pretty good looking pitch right there, but ruled either low or outside, taken as a ball. So 1-0 the count. Foul ball back to the screen, so 1-1 the count. On Peyton Basler, the second baseman for the Blue Devils. Way outside. 2-1 the count. Bottom of the first inning action. Foul ball back and out of play. The Spires of St. Mary had a couple of base hits, then a strikeout and a ground out and a walk, and then a bases loaded hit by pitch. The run so far in this one comes the 2-2. Stays outside for ball 3. So 3-2 the count on the second baseman, Peyton Basler of the Blue Devils. Woida in the on-deck circle. That's up high. So a base on balls issued to Basler. That's going to bring up Woida. Woida will step in with runners at first and second and nobody out. Woida starts the day batting .258. He'll step in with runners at first and second and nobody out. There's a strike outside half of the plate at the belt. 0-1 the count on the first baseman, Jace Woida. Stays outside. 1-1 the count on Woida. It's a ball headed at the second baseman. He's up with it and over for the 4-6-3. So Barta to Maldonado and over to Brandt. And Woida doubles up. And the runner moves to third base.
The third baseman, number 10, Jackson Mervosh.
So that's going to bring up Mervosh. Mervosh steps in with 2 outs now and a runner at third. There's a ball that's going to get back to the screen. Not sure if that'll be a wild pitch or a pass ball, but nonetheless, the tying run comes in on the pass ball. So that ties it up at 1. So 1-1 now. 2-0 the count. On Mervosh. There's a ball headed to deep right field. On his horse is Lowry, and that's going to be over. Lowry headed around second and over to third base is Mervosh with a triple. So that's going to bring up Bryson Vaughter. Vaughter will step in with a runner at third base and 2 outs. Vaughter starts the day batting .250. Fouls that one down into the ground and back up to his feet. 0-1 the count. There's a strike right at the waist. 0-2 the count now on the designated hitter, Bryson Vaughter. Foul ball backing over the top of us. So we'll do the 0-2 again. The ball headed to deep right field again. Lowry on his horse, and that was going to be off the wall. So extra bases for Vaughter. Vaughter's around second, and he's headed to third base with an RBI triple. So back-to-back RBI, or excuse me, not back-to-back triples, one for an RBI, puts the Blue Devils up 2-1 now. All right, so that's going to bring up Freddie Nolan the fourth. He's the right fielder. He'll step in. Blue Devils have plated two here to respond to the one run scored in the top of the inning by the Spires. Nolan will step in with a runner at third base and 2 outs. Breaking ball fouled and back to the screen, off to the catcher. 0-1 the count. Nolan the fourth at the plate. He's on right field today. Foul ball, that's off the catcher and back out front. Umpire will go out and visit with Brett Hayes for a minute or two to give Celestino a little break from that ball that glanced off of him and back out into the field of play. Vaughter at third base after the RBI triple. That's in the dirt. Backhanded by the catcher, Celestino. That ball's about 57 feet out there. You're just lucky to get a backhanded glove on it, which he did there. 1-2 the count. That's outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 runs in so far for the Blue Devils. That's in the dirt. So 3-2 the count now on Freddie Nolan the fourth. That's down low for ball 4. So now 2 outs with runners at first and third. That's going to bring up Levi Martin. Martin, the left fielder today. Runners at first and third. 2 outs. Martin will step in. Martin has a .308 batting average. There's a ground ball headed at the third baseman. He's up with it, is Harding, and over to Brandt for the final out of the inning. So the Blue Devils plate 2 on 3 hits, and we go to the second inning with the Blue Devils leading 2-1. I'll be back. All right, to the top of the second inning we go. Blue Devils have some fans out on the berm, and I had a brief look at them, and then I clicked and it went away from the camera. So that's going to schedule up Barta, Maldonado, and then back to the top of the order and Cordova. Top of the second inning action, Blue Devils lead 2-1. That misses just a little bit inside. 1-0 the count on the second baseman, Lucas Barta. The ball headed down the right field line, and that's foul. So 1-1 the count now on Barta. Spires put up 1 in the top of the first. Blue Devils put up 2 in the bottom half. Top of the second inning action, Blue Devils leading 2-1. Barta at the plate. That's down low. 2-1 the count. Gavin Killian on the mound for the Blue Devils. There's a ball headed into shallow right field, and that's going to be a base hit. So Barta with the hit to right field.
Now number 28, Ian Maldonado.
That's going to bring up the shortstop, Ian Maldonado. He'll step in with a runner at first base and nobody out. The runner at first is Barta. Ball 1-0 the count. Throw over to first. Not much going on over there. It's a ground ball headed to go back. He's up with it over to second base and over to first for the 6-4-3 double play. Nicely done by the infield. 6-4-3, so now 2 outs and back to the top of the order for the Spires. Cordova will step in. Cordova is from Topeka, Kansas. He had a base hit his first time up. Takes ball 1. Misses outside, so 2-0 the count. There's a strike at the knees on the outside corner. So 2-1. 2 outs now. Barta with the leadoff base hit, and Maldonado promptly hit to the backhand side of the shortstop for the 6-4-3 ground out. There's a ball headed to deep right field, and that ball is going to be out for a home run. So Cordova with the 2-out home run to tie this thing back up. It's going to bring up Celestino. Celestino had a base hit his first time up. Celestino is from Fort Worth, Texas. So a ground ball headed up the middle. That's going to be cut off by Golbeck. Quick throw over to Woida at first for the 6-3 ground out. 1 run on 2 hits for the Spires. We go to the bottom half of the second inning, all tied up at 2. I'll be back. Different pitcher. Oh, wait a minute. Yep. Well, it's 32, and the starter was 54. What's that? Okay. Did you say K.O. Fields? All right, pitching change here in the bottom half of the second inning for the Spires. Number 32, Caleb Fields, will come on in relief. He is from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Olson, Kern, and Golbeck scheduled up for the Blue Devils. Derek Olson will lead things off. We're all tied up at 2 at the end of 1.5. Appears to be Olson's first at bat of the year here. There's a strike called on him. One and one the count now. Olson the catcher today. Breaking ball stays inside. Didn't break much, but it didn't hit him. So 2-1 the count on Derek Olson. There's a foul ball down the right field line and out of play. Two balls, 2 strikes. And that's inside. It's so hard to wear that thing down low. Three and 2 the count now. Fields on in relief for the Spires. That ball stays up high, so a leadoff walk.
That brings up the center fielder, number 6, Brady Kern.
That's going to bring up Brady Kern. Kern will step in with the runner at first base and nobody out. Kern starts the day batting .333. He'll step in to face Fields. Ball stays just a little bit inside. Want to know the count? That's outside for ball 2. There. 2-0 the count. As a pop up, we'll see if that's going to get out of here. And the wind brought it back. That's going to be a fair ball off the glove of the catcher. The wind is blowing in from left field, makes that a tough play right there. But that's going to be an error, I'm sure, on the catcher. That's a tough one, but an E2. Now runners at first and second, back to the top of the order, and Goldbeck. Goldbeck is from Kansas City, Missouri. Squares to bunt, pulls back, and takes ball one.
Now, shortstop Garrett Goldbeck.
That's up a little bit high above the belt right there. So 2-0 the count on Goldbeck. Two balls, no strikes, 2 on, nobody out. There the bunt is down. That's going to be an infield hit for Goldbeck. Bunt hit. Of Coach Sharp down at first base. Of Coach Sharp down at first base. Olson. Kern. Goldbeck. That misses just a little bit outside. One ball, 2 strikes to the second baseman, Peyton Basler. Breaking ball stays way high and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bottom half of the second inning. Low and inside. Blocked nicely by Celestino. So 3-2 the count now. Nobody out. That's high and outside for ball 4. So an RBI base on balls for Basler.
That brings up the first baseman, number 23, Jace Woida.
So that'll bring up Woida. Blue Devils take a 3-2 lead now. Woida will step in. Woida is from Lincoln, Nebraska. He steps in with the bases loaded, nobody out. There's a ground ball that just jumped up and whizzed past the first baseman. So there's going to be 1, 2, 3 scored. I believe that's going to be a double for Woida. And he empties the bases. Put the Blue Devils up 6-1. That's going to bring up Mervosh. Mervosh will step in with a runner at second base and nobody out. Takes a ball, 1-0 the count. It's a ground ball hit at the second baseman, Barta. Barta's up with it and over to Brandt for the ground out. So the 4-3 ground out is the first out of the inning.
Now with the DH number 50, Bryson Vaughter.
That's going to bring up Bryson Vaughter. Vaughter is from Topeka, Kansas. He steps in with one out and a runner at third base in Woida. There's a ball headed deep to right field. Lowry's going to take care of that. Woida is going to come to home. So Vaughter with the sac fly, and Vaughter has a triple for an RBI and a sac fly for an RBI. So back-to-back RBIs on his at-bats. That's going to bring up Nolan the fourth. He walked his last time up. That's high and inside. Fort Worth, Texas is where Nolan the fourth hails from. There's a strike. Outside corner at the knees. 1-1 the count. 2 down now after the sac fly by Vaughter. Blue Devils with a 6-1 lead. That's down low for ball 2. 2-1 the count. There's a strike inside corner at the knees. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. In the dirt. So 3-2 the count on Freddie Nolan, the fourth, the right fielder. He walked his first time up. That's up high for ball 4. So back-to-back walks for Nolan. That's going to bring up Levi Martin. Levi Martin will step in. We may get a pitching change here. We've got work down in the Spires bullpen. Maybe just buying a little bit of time. (12-33) down warming up in the bullpen. Fields and Watkins. Runner goes. And stolen base by Nolan the fourth. So Nolan the fourth at second base. Levi Martin at the plate. That's down low. Two and 0 the count, 2 outs, runner at second base. 5 runs in the inning so far. 7-2 lead for the Blue Devils. That's outside. 3-0 the count. There's a strike right through there. 3-1 the count. Three balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Nolan the fourth at second base. Just a little bit high for ball 4. So we're going to get a pitching change. Blue Devils through the order one time. We'll get a change. We'll get that change. We'll be back. Pitching change has been made for the Spires. Lefty from Olathe, Kansas comes in.
Pitching for the Spires, number 12, Holden Fields.
Holden Fields comes in. He comes in with runners at first and second and 2 outs. He will face Derek Olson. The catcher will step in. Olson walked his first time up. Olson is from Westminster, Colorado. Swing and a miss of that pitch. May got a piece of it. Didn't notice the umpire's reaction to that, but nonetheless a swinging strike. A fly ball headed down the right field line. That's going to be out of play and outside the bullpen area down by the Spire bullpen. So 0-2 the count quickly on Olson. That's low and inside. 1-2 the count. Olson walked his first time up. Blue Devils with a 6-1 lead here. 9 innings scheduled game. Bottom of the second inning action. There's a ball headed into center field. That's going to be a base hit and going to score 1 run. Coach is going to send the other one and going to be safe at home. So 2 runs score before the throw out at second base. So we go to the top of the third inning. Blue Devils, is that 9 correct?
Yep.
9-2. I haven't got all my totals done. We'll go with his 9-2. I'll be back. Brandt, Hardig, and Ramirez scheduled up for the Spires. Top of the third inning action. There's a strike outside half of the plate. Strike called. Brandt struck out his first time up. There's a ball headed into left field, and that ball's going to drop for a hit. Brandt is from Overland Park, Kansas, went to Shawnee Mission South High School. He leads off with a base hit.
Now up at third baseman, number 1, Aiden Artig.
That's going to bring up Hardig. There's a strike on the outside corner. Hardig is from Paola, Kansas. Breaking ball catches the outside corner again, so quickly 0-2 the count. Pretty good spot right there. Want to be careful throwing there again with your second baseman so close to second base. Get that one slapped through the right side. We'll see how they throw here. And a swing and a miss for the strikeout for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up Ramirez. He is from Kansas City, Kansas, went to Bishop Ward High School. There's a foul ball backing out of play. Runner at first base is Ben Brandt. He led off the inning with a base hit. Way outside. There's a strike on the outside corner. 1-2 the count on Ramirez, the designated hitter. He walked his first time up. It's outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Top of the third inning action, scheduled 9-inning game. In the dirt, blocked nicely by Olson. Martin, Kern, Nolan the fourth, left to right across the outfield. Mervosh, Golbeck, Basler, Woida, left to right across the infield. Olson behind the plate, and Carson Rosen on in relief of Killian. There's a ball hit it into deep left field. Wind kind of held that up a bit, and that's taken care of by Martin for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up Nunez. Nunez is from Simi Valley, California. Steps in with 2 outs and a runner at first. Takes strike 1. Misses a little bit low and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, runner at first base. There's a breaking ball, catches the outside corner at the knees. So 1-2 the count now on the left fielder, Justin Nunez. He was hit by a pitch for an RBI in the first inning. There's a foul ball just wide of third base. We'll do the 1-2 again. Out of play down the left field line. Wind is howling out of the north. See if I've got to look at the flag here. Oh, it was at half mast the other day. Hit by pitch is Nunez, so back-to-back hit by pitch. This one without the RBI. That's going to bring up Wyatt Lowry. Low and inside. Lowry is from DeSoto, Kansas. He's up there with 2 outs and runners at first and second base. Swing and a miss of that pitch, so 1-1 the count. Lowry struck out his first time up. Lowry playing in right field. That's inside. 2-1 the count. Foul ball back into the screen. Another foul ball back to the screen. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. 2 runs amassed so far by the Spires. And strike 3 called for the strikeout. So we go to the bottom half of the third inning. Blue Devils leading 9-2. I'll be back. New pitcher on the mound. I'm looking at the wrong sheet. Thank you very much. It's Holden Fields back in there for another inning of work. I had the left-hander. I just didn't have the number. Thank you. Kern, Golbeck, and Basler scheduled up for the Blue Devils. Basler is from Lansing, Kern is from Lawrence, Kansas. Three and oh the count to him. That's up high for ball 4. So Kern with the lead-off walk in the 9-hole. Going to go back to the top of the order, and Gary Golbeck. Golbeck has a double for an RBI and a stolen base. Actually scored, I believe, on a pass ball. Couldn't read my chicken scratches there. That ball's low and inside. Then he had a bunt hit down the third baseline, his second at bat. So 2 for 2 on the day. There's a strike at the belt right down the middle. Kern at first base. Runner goes, and there's a hit by a pitch. So Golbeck takes the stolen base away from Kern by getting hit by a pitch. That's going to bring up Peyton Basler. Basler will step in with runners at first and second, nobody out. 9-2 the lead for the Blue Devils here in the bottom of the third inning. Way up high. Basler has a couple of base on balls that he reached on, one of them for an RBI. Runner goes, runners go. And he's going to be out at third base is Kern. Down to second base is Goldbeck. So one out now. That's down low. 2-1 the count. Low and inside, nicely blocked by Celestino. 3-1 the count now. The high fly ball to center field. It's going to be taken by the center fielder, Cordova, for the out. Be the second out of the inning. So that's going to bring up Woida. Woida will step in with 2 outs and go back at second base. Fields on in relief. Holden Fields on in relief of Cale Fields and Brett Hayes. There's a foul ball. Slow roller over to first base. Way out in front of that was Woida. 0-1 the count on the first baseman, Jace Woida. Woida hit into a 4-6-3 ground out in the first and then doubled for 3 RBI with the bases loaded. There's a strike, catches the inside corner. Oh, and 2 the count now on Woida. Wind really coming in from the north. There's a ground ball hit up the first baseman. He's going to underhand it to the pitcher. So Brandt to Holden Fields for the 3-1 ground out. Blue Devils, no runs, no hits. We go to the top of the fourth inning. Blue Devils leading 9-2. I'll be back. Top of the fourth inning. Carson Rosen back for another inning of work. Little check swing ruled a strike. Bart is wanting the umpire to check with the umpire at first, and the umpire behind the plate says no, it was a swing. 0-1 the count. And another swing. Didn't really want to, but he did. Not the kind of ideal swings that you want for your first and second strike. Nonetheless, here comes the 0-2 in the dirt. 1-2 the count now. Only Lucas Barta. Barta, the second baseman. He had a base hit his first time in the dirt again. 2-2 the count. It's a ground ball back inside, go back up with it, and didn't get it picked up in time. Jace Woida thought he picked it up, so gets the short hop on the throw. I believe that's going to be an error on, or do they score that a hit? Tough play. I'm just curious if he had beat it out. I think he'd have been out. We'll see how they score that. There's the bunt, and the bunt is going to be foul. I think typically if you ask Gehrig's going to say, yeah, I should have had him, and probably going to be an E there. It was a short hop, so it's not likely to be on Woida.
Now up, number 28, Ian Maldonado.
Maldonado, there's a throw over to first. Maldonado hit into a 6-4-3 double play his first time up. Maldonado is from Phoenix, Arizona. And sorry about my choice of cameras there. The wind started that out in front of the camera I chose, and then it blew it over to Basler. And Basler takes care of that for the first out of the inning. So back to the
number 17, Ben Cordova.
So back to the top of the order in Cordova. He's had a base hit and a home run in this one, both to right field. So 2 for 2 is Cordova. He takes a strike, 0-1 the count on him. Swing and a miss of that, got a piece of it held by Olson. So quickly 0-2 the count. On the center fielder, Ben Cordova. Misses outside. One ball, 2 strikes. Runner at first base is Barta. There's a little check swing. Going to go to second base. So little check swing hit toward the second baseman, Basler. Quick return to second base, gets the fielder's choice
The catcher, number 40, Adam Celestino.
for the second out of the inning. It's going to bring up Celestino. Celestino has a base hit and a ground out so far in this one. There's a strike at the knees on the outside corner. Breaking ball, fouled back to the screen. So quickly 0-2 the count on the catcher, Adam Celestino. Ball off of Mervosh and wide throw. Gonna be safe at third. I believe that's gonna be an error on Mervosh. The run scores.
Now number 15, Ben Brandt.
It's gonna make it 9-3. It's going to bring up Brandt. Foul back to the screen. Brandt has struck out and had a base hit. He's up there with 2 outs and a runner at third base. It's up high for ball 2. 1-1 the count after the foul ball. Misses for ball 2. 2-1 the count. Top of the 4th inning action. It's a ground ball hit at Basler. He's up with it and over to Woida for the 4-3 ground out. The Spires get one. We go to the bottom half of the 4th inning with the Blue Devils leading 9-3. I'll be back. Pitching change made by the Spires. On the mound now is number 33, Devin Watkins from Meriden, Kansas. He'll come on in relief for the Spires. Blue Devils leading here in the bottom of the 4th inning. They lead 9-3. Scheduled up for the Blue Devils, Mervosh, Vauder, and Nolan the 4th. Mervosh will step in. He's had a triple and a ground out. Mervosh will step in as he leads things off for the Blue Devils here in the bottom of the 4th inning. High and inside for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Nunez, Cordova, Lowry left, right across the outfield. Harding, Maldonado, Barta, and Brandt across the infield. That's low for ball 2. With Celestino behind the plate and Devin Watkins now on the mound for the Spires. That's way up high and back to the screen. So 3-0 the count. There's a strike at the belt, outside half of the plate.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, there you go. I need to store it too. No worries.
There's ball 4. That was a pretty good looking pitch there. I was trying to untangle my headset, but nonetheless ruled a ball, so a leadoff walk
Oh, great. Thank you so much.
for Mervosh. That's going to bring up Vauder. Vauder has 2 RBI, 1 on a triple and 1 on a sac fly. Low and inside for ball 1.
Yeah, 9-3 in the bottom of 4 right now. Yeah. But no, I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Throw over to first, back in safely is Mervosh.
I figured you're busy. No big deal. Thank you. Yep. Bye.
It's a high chopper to first, and then safe with the tag. So the high chopper allowed Mervosh a little bit of time to get down there. First baseman Brandt steps on third, and his relay throw down to Maldonado. Not in time for the double play. It's going to bring up Nolan the 4th. Swing and a miss of that pitch. Nolan has walked twice so far, has a stolen base. That must have been a little low. Looked pretty good right there. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Swing and a miss of that pitch. So 1-2 the count now. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Jackson Mervosh at second base. Nolan the 4th at third at the plate. Coach will go back down at third. May have set my camera a little bit off where it needs to be for him when there's a runner at second. There's a foul ball down the right field line. That's going to be outside of the field of play. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Swing and a miss of that pitch. So the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up Levi Martin.
Now the left fielder, number 34, Levi Martin.
Martin has grounded out to the third baseman and reached on a base on balls. He'll step in with 2 outs and a runner at second base. There's a strike, catches the outside corner. Low and out, excuse me, low and outside. I lost track here. 1-1 the count. There's a breaking ball that broke right into the backside of Levi Martin. So that'll bring up Olson.
Now up the catcher, number 48, Derek Olson.
Olson will step in with runners at first and second, 2 outs. He's reached on a base on balls and had a base hit to right field. He'll step in, try and keep things going here for the Blue Devils. Pitcher on the mound is Devin Watkins for the Spires. It's a little bit high. Ball one. 1-0 the count on the catcher, Derek Olson. Called a swing on that offer. 1-1 the count. Swing and a miss. That ball gets underneath the catcher, Celestino, and the runners move up. So Martin at second, Vaughter at third. There's a hit into left field that will plate 2. So an RBI base hit to left field for Derek Olson. He's got a couple of base hits, and that one yielded 2 RBI.
Number 6, Brady Kern.
We're going to get a visit to the mound. We'll see if there's any changes. We get the score updated. The Blue Devils lead 11-3 as they bat here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. I'll be back. All right, visit over, no change made. Brady Kern scheduled up and steps in for the Blue Devils. There's a strike. Strike called 0-1 the count on Brady Kern. He reached on an error and then reached on a base on balls. There's a fair ball down the third base line. Done a nice job by Hardig to take care of that and toss it over to Brandt for the third out of the inning. The Blue Devils get 2 runs on 1 hit. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Blue Devils leading 11-3. Thanks for joining me. I'll be back. All right, the pitching change has been made by the Blue Devils. Number 33, Nate Ugly of Loros goes to the mound for the Blue Devils. Hardig, Ramirez, and Nunez scheduled up for the Spires. The wind is, yes, miserable. There's a foul ball over by Mervosh in the coaching box where the Spires coach is at this current time. 0-1 the count. Harding is grounded out and struck out. There's a strike called. 0-2 the count. Quickly on Harding. 11-3 lead here in the top of the fifth. I got a little bookwork I haven't done here. Get that changed to the fifth inning. Now my bookwork is up to date. Top of the fifth inning action, 11-3. A little bit low right there. 2-2 the count. Nate coming off of a year of rehab on the mound today. This is a foul ball. Nate is from McKinney, Texas. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Have to get our website and our roster done so I know those kinds of things. Breaking ball broke way outside there, makes it 3-2. Probably could have found that at his picture. I do have his picture saved in here for me to use that sometime. I haven't got that worked in yet. There's a high fly ball that's headed to deep right, and back to take care of that is Nolan the fourth. So a long, loud, and run for Nolan for that out, for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up Ramirez. Ramirez has walked and been out on a fly to left field. He'll step in with one out and nobody on. Little bit low, 1-0 the count. Ugly at Loro on in relief of Rosen and Killian. There's a strike on the outside corner. Emilio Ramirez, the designated hitter. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. There's a strike called. My boys had a high school baseball coach that would say, how can it be a strike if the catcher can't catch it?
No catchy, no calling.
1 ball, 2 strikes nonetheless here. Turned on that one, ball breaking in on his hands, and he fouls it over into and off the face of the dugout of the home or the visitors. The guests. Got that one in on his fist, and he was just able to get it fouled off. So we'll do the 1-2 again. Comes the 1-2. It's up high. 2-2 the count. Comes the 2-2. Breaking ball. Didn't catch him chasing and sailed a little bit low. So 3-2 the count now. That's down low for ball 4. Had about 15 to 20 girls sitting out in left center field, and now it's down to about 5. The wind coming from the north has gotten a little brisk. So runner at first base now. That curveball breaks outside. Nunez has been hit by a pitch twice, once for an RBI when the bases were loaded. He takes 1-0 here. There's a foul ball down the right field line and way out of play. So Hardig sent Nolan the fourth deep to the warning track for a fly ball for the first out of the inning, and then the designated hitter Ramirez has walked. Quick throw over to first, back in safely. That's Ramirez, the designated hitter at first. That's a little bit high. 2-1 the count. Comes the 2-1. Breaking ball, caught him with the check swing, ruled a strike. So 2-2 the count. Quick toss to first from Uglialoro over to Woida. Back in safely was Ramirez. Just misses a little bit outside. Pretty good pitch right there. 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 1 on. Blue Devils leading by 8. There's a little dribbler foul ball down the right side. We'll do the 3-2. There's a ball to Bassler. 2. Go back over to Woida for the 4-6-3 ground out. So the base on balls erased by that double play. We go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. We made it halfway through this one. Blue Devils leading 11-3. New pitcher for the Spires from Platte City, Hunter Cox. Goldbeck, Basler, and Wojda scheduled up for the Blue Devils. There's a strike right at the top part of the zone. Gary Goldbeck is 2 for 2 on the day, had a double and a single so far. Had the single bunt, or a bunt single, I should say. 2-0 the count on him. That's up and out. So 2-1 the count. Inside. Gehrig thought that one was going to get him and didn't quite. So 3-1 the count. That's ball 4, high and outside. That'll.
Second baseman number 2, Peyton Basler.
That's going to bring up Basler. Basler will step in with a runner at first base and nobody out. Throw over to first, nothing going on over there. Basler has walked twice, once for an RBI, and been out on a fly ball to Cordova in center field. Goldbeck goes, and stolen base by Goldbeck. One and oh the count. Foul ball back and out of play. 1-1 the count on the second baseman, Peyton Basler. Nice sunshiny day, but still a little breezy cool. Big wind out of the north. A little floater breaking ball right there. Made it back down to the strike zone for a strike called. 1-2 the count. Whew, that one just about the same. Stayed up just a little bit higher. 2-2 the count. Two balls, two strikes. Goldbeck at second base. Nobody out. Fouled that one away. We'll do the 2-2 again. Hunter Cox on in relief for the Spires. Basler at the plate. That misses outside. So 3-2 the count now. In the dirt for ball 4. So back-to-back walks here for Hunter Cox. And he's going to have runners at first and second base, and that's going to bring up Jace Wojda. Wojda will step in with nobody out. Runners at first and second after the 2 walks. Wojda's hit into a double play. There's a ground ball headed at the second baseman. He's up with it. And the fielder's choice couldn't get a handle on it. Could Maldonado for the return throw. So Wojda reaches base on the 4-6 fielder's choice.
Third baseman number 10, Jackson Mervosh.
That's going to bring up Mervosh. Mervosh will step in with runners at the corners and 1 out. Mervosh has a triple, a ground out, and a base on balls where he's reached. He'll step in with 2 on. There's that curve ball way over the top and back down for a strike. 0-1 the count.
Slow. Very slow.
Just misses a little bit inside with that same curveball. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. That's up high. 2-1 the count.
I think he's definitely harder than pitch.
Runner goes. There's strike called on that curveball.
I think a position player.
2-2.
I think from position player to
Stolen base by Woida.
I think the odds of a pitcher facing a position player is way most likely someone.
In the dirt, nicely blocked by Celestino.
We did that last year in practice. We did position players versus if we do a sweep, position players pitch against us. Nice.
3 balls, 2 strikes, and an out.
Yeah,
There's a ground ball at the shortstop, Maldonado. He's up with it and over to Brandt for the out. But Mervosh's ground out gets an RBI.
Finley went 3-3. But Finley doesn't.
Now, the designated hitter number 50, Bryson Potter.
That's going to bring up Vodder.
What's it called? Finley was an All-American shortstop before a pitcher.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
There's a strike called.
High school.
Vodder at the plate. He's had a triple for an RBI, a sac fly for an RBI, and then reached on a fielder's choice. 2-0 the count on him with Woida at third base and 2 outs now. There's a strike at the knees right through there. Swing and a miss. Going to throw it down, and the ball gets away. Probably got into the sun there, but Woida will score as the strikeout. Vodder ends up at first. So the run scores to make it.
For the Blue Devils, number 45, John Caney.
So number 45, John Kaimi. Kaimi will pinch hit. Runner at first. Curveball goes low for ball 1. Runner at first base is Vodder. Fakes going, throws going to go down into right field. Vodder's going to move. We'll see Coach is going to wave him on to third. And he's going to be into third base. Catcher threw behind there as Vodder bluffed to go to second, and he launched it over the top of the first baseman. Behind on my bookwork. Kaimi at the plate. Vaughter at third, 2 outs. There's that breaking ball, stayed inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. There's strike 3 called for the 3rd out of the inning.
After 5 innings of play, Blue Devils lead 13-3.
They pick up 2 more, do the Blue Devils. We go to the top of the 6th inning, Blue Devils leading 13-3. I'll be back. Wyatt Lowry with the base hit. It's going to bring up Lucas Barta. That's airmailed all the way back to the screen and a throw down to first, third, and he's going to be out. So the throw down to third base to erase the base hit. Jorge Sanchez on the mound for the Blue Devils now. Wholesale changes. There's a breaking ball. Nice pitch through there for the strike. changes at almost every position. Kamey in right, Widener in center, Alvarez at second, to name a few. Santiago at first, Pachorik at shortstop, Burrows at third. How about our catcher, guys? Still Olson, thank you. There's another 40-something. Thank you, I appreciate it. That's up just a bit. 2-1 the count. I need a teleprompter with that kind of stuff on it. That's big changes. 3-1 the count. There's a strike called outside corner. Three balls, two strikes, and an out. 13-3 lead for the Blue Devils. There's a swing and a miss of that pitch. So we're going to have a pinch hitter for the Spires.
Spires, number 35, Saul Vasquez Alvarado.
Saul Vasquez Alvarado will hit. He'll be up there with 2 outs and nobody on. Breaking ball, nice breaking ball there for a strike called. There's a ball hit into right field. It's going to be down for a hit. Sir Alvarado on with the base hit. So back to the top of the order and Cordova.
Number 17, Ben Cordova.
Cordova has a base hit, a home run, and reached on a fielder's choice. He'll step in with 2 outs and a runner at first base. There's a strike called. Swing and a miss of that pitch. So quickly 0-2 the count on Cordova. Outside. 1-2 the count. Breaking ball. One ball, 2 strikes. Cordova able to foul that one away.
Yeah, he was a red shirt. So he's coming back next year. Yeah.
That's up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
No. He's just red shirt because he knew he was going to get ready for this year.
Comes the 2-2 pitch. The ball headed into right field. Kamey takes care of that for the 3rd out of the inning. So no runs on 1 hit. That hit was erased on trying to steal 3rd. We go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Blue Devils leading 13-3. I'll be back. All right, to the top, or excuse me, the bottom of the sixth inning we go. Aaron Osorio on in relief for the Spires. Martin Olson
Now batting number 34,
scheduled up for the Blue Devils. Levi Martin steps in. There's a base hit headed for left field. So Martin has been hit by a pitch, reached on a base on balls, grounded out, and now has a base hit
Derek Olson.
into left field. That's going to bring up Derek Olson. Olson will step in with a runner at first and nobody out. He's got a couple of base hits, 2 RBI and a walk. Does Olson on the day. There's a strike, catches the outside corner. 0-1 the count. Bottom of the sixth inning action, 13-3 lead by the Blue Devils. That's inside. 1-1 the count. Two and one the count now. Runner moves down to second on that pitch. There's a strike outside half of the plate at the knees. 3-2 the count. There's a ball headed up the middle. That's going to be taken care of by Barta. Keeps the run from scoring, but that's going to be an infield hit for Olson.
Now batting number 5, Jackson Wiedner.
That's going to bring up Jackson Wiedner. It might be Widener, it might be Wiedner. Did somebody yell that?
It was Wiedner. He said Wiedner. It's okay. I did say Wiedner, didn't I? The D was. I probably shouldn't say the D was soft.
1-0 the count. There's a foul ball. Got way out in front of that. There's a strike called there, so 1-2 the count.
Looks like I would say Wiedner, but is it an EI or IE? I don't know.
There's a check swing.
You don't know all these eligibility, man. It's been a while. It's an EI. So it's
Check swing ruled the ball, so 2-2 the count. Runners at first and third, nobody out.
I got it now. They're calling him wee wee still though, so I don't know.
There's a swing and a miss and the strikeout. So 1 out.
Now batting number 3, Tanner Pachorik.
So Tanner Pachorik will hit in the spot of Goldbeck. Swing and a miss of that pitch.
AJ Alvarez.
0-1 the count. Ball blocked by Celestino there. Down low. 2-1 the count. Ball's going to be foul.
Oh, Frankie.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The ball headed down the line. That's going to be foul. There's a ball headed into left field for a base hit. So Pachorik with an RBI base hit.
Now batting number 8, AJ Alvarez.
It's going to bring up Alvarez. Alvarez will step in with runners at first and second. 1 out. It must have been low, but ruled a ball 1-0 the count. It's outside for ball 2, 2-0 the count. Strike catches the inside corner, 2-1 the count. Three base hits and a strikeout so far in the inning. There's a strike called 2-2 the count for the 14th run of the game for the Blue Devils. Foul ball back and out of play. 2-2 the count, 1 out. There's a foul ball. St. Mary University with 3 runs on 7 hits and 3 errors. Blue Devils 14 runs on 10 hits and 2 errors. Getting to be that time of day that the sun shining on the scoreboard makes it hard for the old man eyes. There's a swing and a strikeout for the second out of the inning. So Frankie Santiago will step in. Number 26. Took over at first base for Wida. Ball gets away just a bit from the catcher. 2-0 the count now on Santiago. Foul ball 2-1 the count.
I think left.
3-1 the count.
Last game we had
I'm pretty sure.
Fodder. We had
There it is.
And there's the home run clear up on top of the berm. So the 3-run home run by Frankie Santiago.
Yeah, I didn't seem like I was hit that well, but that ball traveled. Yeah, it was traveling early in the game. We hit 3 off the wall out there. See, I need my air raid sirens right now. If we're at softball, we'd have had it. Now batting number 7, Austin Burrows.
So that'll bring up Austin Burrows.
Yeah, I did.
Score now 17-3. Ball 1. Burrows hitting in Jackson Mervosh's spot in the lineup. There's a ground ball headed into left field. So Burrows with the base hit.
So I guess we're cutting down the nets tomorrow. They said okay on that? Yeah, they said okay.
These ones?
Now up the DH, number 50, Bryson Vaughter.
So Bryson Vaughter
I told Brandon
will be up.
where I said we'd also take them off the portables. We didn't have 2 extras. I think
There's a strike outside half the plate at the knees. Vaughter has a triple with an RBI, a sac fly, reached on a fielder's choice, and then he reached on a strikeout that was in the dirt, and they could not record the out, and a run scored on that. 17-3, the score now here in the bottom of the 6th. There's a foul out of play.
storage room under our conference room.
Comes the 1-2. Breaking ball stays outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Pat Kelly, he's got all the scripts, sophomore scripts. They got it too. They did, yeah.
Shortstop. And the throw over to first base. That's going to be an error on the throw by Maldonado.
Now up number 45, John Caney.
It's going to bring up Kamey. He steps in with 2 outs, runners at first and second base. So ground ball is going to be fouled just between Coach Goldbeck and third base. 0-1 the count. There's a strike. Outside part of the plate at the knees.
Yeah. 3 outs.
Not a home run?
No.
Down the right field line, going to be foul.
It's kind of like your drive. On the golf course, you don't want to see that.
No, that's mine.
0-2 the count on John Kamey.
Drive card.
I just drive the card.
There you go.
In the dirt, nicely blocked by Celestino. One and two the count. Outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. That's going to be down for a hit. Going to score 1 run. Going to have a pinch hitter here, number 27, Marcus Dirks. We're going to get a pitching change first. I will catch up on some of my book work. We'll find out the new pitcher, and we'll be back. Pitching change made by the Spires. In now is number 41, Max Hernandez. Now batting for the Blue Devils, Marcus Dirks, number 27.
Now batting for the Blue Devils, number 27, Marcus Dirks.
He'll step in with 2 outs, runners at the corners for the Blue Devils. They now have an 18-3 lead. There's a strike inside corner at the knees. Blue Devils finally get through with this inning. They will need 3 outs to finish a 10-run rule in 7. There's a foul back and away.
Yeah, looks like 75. It's going to be 25 by midnight.
0-2, the count on Dirks. Breaking ball, and he fouls that away. So we'll do the 0-2 again. There's a ball headed into right field. Right fielder having a hard time seeing that. So 1 run in on the base hit. Makes it 19.
Now up the catcher, number 48, Derek Olson.
That'll bring up Derek Olson. Olson has 3 base hits, a couple of RBIs, and a walk so far in this one. There's a strike called.
Good for our stats, though.
There's a line drive to the glove side of Hardig. He takes care of that. So at the end of 6 full innings, Blue Devils lead 19-3. Pitching change here in the top of the 7th. Bryson Vaughter goes to the mound for the Blue Devils. There's a strike called on the outside corner to Adam Celestino. I had Cordova up, I guess.
That was the end of the last inning. That was the end of
There's a soft line drive at Golbeck. Cordova made the last out of the last inning. I had the double play, but that was the inning before, so that's going to bring up Ben Brandt. Brandt will step in. There's a little nubber out in front, and off the mound to get that is Vaughter, and down to Santiago for the out. Hardig will step in now with 2 outs. And a check swing, not able to hold back. He didn't mean to. Strike 1 the count. That breaks a little bit low and inside. 1-1 the count. Blue Devils trying to finish this thing in 7 innings, 10-run rule after 7. There's a foul ball out of play, so down to the last strike for the time being are the Spires. Inside, back to the screen. Missing a little bit of my bookwork here. Should be the 7th inning. Get that updated for you. Thanks for joining me today. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and that's just a little bit low. So 3-2 the count on Ben Brandt, the first baseman. Swing and the foul ball into the glove of the catcher, and that'll do it. The Blue Devils win this one. St. Mary JV, KCK 19, St. Mary JV 3 in 7 innings. I will see you this Friday. We'll either bring you the broadcast or we will let you know how you can watch from Millington, Tennessee on Friday. But as for today, the Blue Devils take this one 19-3. Have a great evening going home. Be safe, and we'll see you next time. Good night.